Isn't that hard? Donald Trump is not the victim here. Donald Trump does all of these things to himself. And I agree with David. I mean, once upon a time, the Republican Party was the party not just of anti-hippies, but of personal responsibility and of law and order. What party? Where is that party? Here, no one's willing to hold, in the Republican Party, is willing to hold Donald Trump to account for his crimes that aren't really even in dispute. And no one is willing to call him out and said he's going to get the nomination. That's just insane, and it just shows the degree of moral rot we have on the conservative side of politics today.
Scott Jennings, I think this is for you. Where is that party?
Well, I disagree with a number of things George said, of course. I mean, he's talking about these obvious crimes that were committed. I mean, he's talking about the obvious crimes that were supposedly committed, but that's the core of what a lot of decidedly non-MAGA Republicans are mad about, is that there is no underlying crime. I looked at the statement from Maine Senator Susan Collins, who I think encapsulated it perfectly. She said this was a partisan prosecutor who promised to get Trump. Nonsense. And that's what he did, not promise to go after the law, nonsense. But he promised to go after Donald Trump.
It isn't nonsense. And we also have video of Letitia James doing the same thing. Too male, too pale, too stale. Those are Letitia James' words. We've got it on camera. We have it on camera. And I've shown that video more times than I can count at this point. So when you have prosecutors that are openly campaigning on, hey, we're going to get this guy, that's a problem. That's a problem. You shouldn't be able to do stuff like that. It should just be, hey, we're going to follow the law. Clearly, they had some Trump derangement going on, right? So, yeah, this whole, honestly, after this, we've got to overhaul our justice system. I mean, it's that simple. It cannot go on this way. It just can't. Unless all of the folks who were doing all of this, once Trump walks back into office come January, they're all arrested and put behind bars. Maybe then we can just continue on with our justice system. Just the way that it is, because then people will see, oh, well, I better not, clearly introduce any bias into any of these decisions. If no one has ever been brought charges on this exact same thing, and many people have done the same thing, people have admitted to doing the same thing. Kevin O'Leary said that lots of people do it. If they're all saying that, well, then I probably shouldn't do this, because it's clearly biased, unless I'm going to charge all of them. I'm just saying. And I've said this before. I have no problem with them going after Trump. I have no problem with them simply going after Trump. I don't. What I do have a problem with is them only going after Trump. If they went after Biden, if they went after Hillary, if they went after Mike Pence, right? Some of these other folks that have committed these crimes, I would have no issues with them going after Trump if they went after those folks as well. I'd have no issues. As a matter of fact, I'd be saying lock him up. If he did exactly what they did and you lock them up, then lock him up too. I'd be the first person on here. And y'all listen, and people could hate me if they wanted to for saying it. Would I like seeing Trump go to jail? No, but what's fair is fair. What's fair is fair. And right now, stuff isn't fair, and it's as clear as day. But anyway, let's continue.
And so the issue is here, what is the crime? He's never been indicted for or convicted of the campaign finance theory at the core of this case. And so Republicans are wondering today, what do you have to do to build a defense against something you've never been convicted of in the first place? I'll tell you, the mood in the party, if you're sort of looking for a generalized attitude, reminds me a little bit about the Kavanaugh period. You go back to the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, 2018. I remember that period being the MAGA people were mad, the non-MAGA, the anti-Trump, the pro-Trump, every wing of the party was vibratingly angry about what was being done to Kavanaugh. I feel and sense that the same thing is happening today, which is why I think you're probably going to see this backfire politically on the Democrats, and they're going to regret it.
I mean, George, I will say, I have heard from some people who really don't want to see Trump get elected in the Republican Party who are concerned that this particular case is just going to drive additional enthusiasm for the former president. I'm interested in you to respond to that. And you got your face in your hands. What do you got to say to Scott?
I have to say, look, Scott's lying, and that's the problem with the Republican Party. It is continually addicted to lies.
Wait a minute. What am I lying
You're
about?
Lying. You're lying, Scott. You're lying about the law. You're lying about what the jury was charged to find. They don't have to find an underlying crime. They had to find the intent to cover up an underlying crime. And the underlying crime was pretty obvious.
What was the crime?
You ran for public office, Scott. You ran for public office, Scott. You know you can't take money from somebody and reimburse them if it's a campaign expense.
I've never run for
damn
public
well.
office.
And okay, fine. Well, you're close enough. You're involved in politics to know that. Okay, so that's the problem with the Republican Party, is that they are suffused with lies. I don't know why this network is paying Scott to say those lies.
Whoa,
on his
okay.
morning
Let's
show.
not go there,
ridiculous.
George. Please, let's not go
No,
there.
we
Okay?
should go there.
Scott is our colleague, and we're going to treat him respectfully as such. Continue.
Well, you shouldn't lie.
Here's my question: If it is an obvious crime, why did the Department of Justice and the Federal Election Commission take a pass on it?
Bingo.
Well, the Federal
They
Election
should have
Commission-
prosecuted it. It should have been
Commission-
prosecuted on January 21, 2021.
Let's let
okay,
David
that's
jump
what.
in.
That,
We all know
this
the
is the
federal
thing
election-
about Donald
I mean,
Trump.
he's
Is
never
Donald
been- he's
Trump.
never been
Donald
indicted for
Trump
this.
has been let off. He should have been indicted for it. And the fact
all
of the
know what
matter
we're-
is,
Should have doesn't mean he did. And the fact remains that he didn't, including Alvin Bragg's predecessor, didn't charge him. So now all of a sudden it's 34 counts and felonies at that, when at worst that should have been a misdemeanor. They had to trump it up to felonies because the statute of limitations had run out. And now, it's all of a sudden turned into 34 counts when it's already been investigated twice. Twice. No charges. Zero. None. Nothing. Come on now. Clearly political.
Donald Trump
hold on.
isn't being treated specially.
George
But he
and
wasn't.
Scott, hold on, please. David, jump
It
in.
doesn't-
We all know the
that's
Federal
fine.
Election Commission is a broken and paralyzed institution. It requires a majority. It's got equal numbers of Republicans and Democrats. It requires a majority to act, and it's not acted on anything for a decade because it is broken. And one of the reasons that things are ending up in the criminal justice system is because the internal political system has been sabotaged by the people who then complain that the criminal justice system is the wrong remedy. I want to pick up something else Scott said. This has become an important Republican talking point that Alvin Bragg vowed to punish Donald Trump. That doesn't seem to be true. People are looking at the record to say, where is this promise that you're talking about? And I wonder, maybe they've mistaken Alvin Bragg for Letitia James, the New York State Attorney General, who did make that promise. But Bragg actually was the person who declined to bring a criminal action.
Hold on, wait. Let's take note of that, because they just admitted Letitia James definitely did it. Remember they were saying, "Oh no, it's not about politics," when everybody was bringing up the whole Letitia James thing. So I wonder, if I was Scott Jennings, I would turn to it. And Scott Jennings is this guy right here. He's the Republican on the panel. I would turn to the guy and ask him flat out. So do you think the Letitia James trial should be thrown out? And Judge Engeron? Because you literally just said that's what she ran on. You just admitted it. Oh man, see when you sit back and just sit quiet, they just tell on themselves. They just start snitching. It just is what it is. All you gotta do is just be quiet. Just sit back and just listen. They'll say it themselves. Oh. Y'all seen that little clip that there it is. He just said it. He just admitted to it. Oh man, absolutely gold right there. We need to save that clip. Need to absolutely save that one. So when that gets thrown out and they're all losing their minds, we can just run it back. Well, you already admitted that that was political. You said it yourself out of your own mouth. Betty backtrack on that one in an instant. Reverse. Anyway, I just wanted to show y'all that. Y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. And just when you thought CNN was heading in the right direction, they invite a Trump deranged George Conway onto the panel. And he just absolutely, by the way, if you don't know who he is, it's this guy who's clearly angry. How do you allow one man to make you so angry? Like the whole Trump derangement, I don't understand it. Like, I'm not a fan of Biden, but Biden doesn't make me angry. You know what I mean? Oh man, my goodness. It's funny to watch these folks. But anyway, peace and love. I'm out.